Welcome into On the Go. And On the Go, now that we're getting into the new year, we're into 2021, we're getting that little bit of an itch to want to go see somebody, maybe take a trip, but you're probably wondering in your mind, I wonder how safe it is or how hard it is to travel. Well, to get those questions answered, we're bringing in Marshall Taggert, and you are the director of the airport here.
That is correct.
So Marshall, it's Fly MGM.
That's correct.
Fly MGM, it's real simple to get a lot of information about the airport. A lot of our viewers are older. Give us a real easy, I'm going out to the airport. What do I need to do to make going through security, getting the gate easy?
Well, I'm aware that people use travel agents, right? They look for that travel agent as a trusty person. But, you can do some things on your own with just clearly understanding some basic components in terms of you preparing to come to the airport. Now, if you fly Delta, Delta has a policy where they have eliminated the middle row.
Okay.
So if you're flying on Delta, you're not going to be sitting next to anyone. And this is from experience. My wife and I took a trip out to visit one of the airlines who have expressed interest in coming to our market.
Thank you.
We'll talk about that too.
Thank you.
But the thing is, at this time, this is probably one of the most safest times to fly because the airlines are doing everything in their the perspective, one, for price, and two, for destinations. But more importantly, they're cleaning those aircraft.
Yes.
When you look at the CDC guidelines, Dr. Fauci talks about there may be some opportunities for you to contract a disease on aircraft. But one thing I will tell you is that the whole cleaning process and what they do is top notch. They give you the hand sanitizers, they have you distancing, they give you everything in a plastic bag so you don't have to worry about people pouring and things floating through the air. There's contactless areas where you can touch the movie components when you look here, even with you utilizing some areas around in the restrooms, it's a touchless, motionless piece. So you don't have to worry about that. We also have adopted that at our airport. And what we look at is trying to make this roadway to runway experience a safe experience. It's 7 steps. When you come up to the actual area and get your ticket, you're not going to have to press the button for the ticket speeder to come out because it's touchless. You just wave your hand. And then in terms, if you don't have a mask, we can provide that mask for you. Everything, when you come through, you're going to hear and smell this kind of pleasant smell when you come through. That's our deodorizer to clean and absorb it's called oxidation. It's something that we got from that perspective. You don't have to get your temperature taken. That's number one. You don't have to basically take a test to get on the aircraft. So there's no COVID tests in this regard. They're not going to go through your history and ask you basic questions. That does not happen. Whether or not if you've had COVID or not, or you're traveling with someone, all they ask you to do is to wear a mask when you interact. You're going to see plexiglass.
So is that more of a FAA thing, or is it a Fly MGM thing, or is it an airline thing?
Well,
the no temp, the this, the that.
It's a combination
all
of
three.
Us as the airport. We have not established a policy as no airports. Now there are some airports that will offer you, if at your choice, if you choose to get a temperature check, but it's not required to get on the plane. Also, the TSA, the Transportation Security Administration, those are the folks that check you through the actual checkpoint. So that experience is as such. When you divest, they're not going to ask you to take everything out of your bag. They're not going to ask you to take your shoes off because of the regulations. They want you to be clean and be safe. They're going to actually put up the bag, and it goes through, they'll check and scan. And for those folks who are pre-checked, we have the pre-check component at our airport. And you can actually put it there and you don't have to divest and take everything out of your bag. The one thing I like about our airport is that there are no lines and there's not a hustle and bustle related to Hartsfield Jackson. And so originating your trip, it's a no-brainer. When I first came, we talked about easygoing. We're still easygoing, but what we want to let you know, we're travel above. We travel above all the madness, all the lines, the incidents of you being able to get to your destination and you don't have to interact with a bunch of people. You may ask Mr. Taggert, well, how do you move in the direction? What should I wear? Well, the N95 mask is probably the best mask to catch what you have. I'm recommending that you do that. We do have those at our airport as well. Also, too, if you can, get a face shield. Very simple. It's a piece that wraps around your head.
Looks like you're
and
getting
the
ready
shield
to
is
go
right
welding.
here. Exactly,
Yeah.
right. It's one of those
welder masks.
It's kind of Bob the Builder and Bobby the Builder type of
Amen.
stuff.
Amen.
So it's what makes sense for you. Some people wear gloves, but the key is as you touch surfaces and you do things, bring your wipes.
Yes.
And bring your hand
Hand
sanitizer.
sanitizer.
You should be fine getting to where you need to go. And a lot of the places that you go to, the hotels, your destinations, if it is a leisure trip, they're going to be doing the best that they can to make that work for you too. I've traveled. I've gotten tested for COVID. I would advise if you want to test yourself to make sure you feel comfortable. I had no symptoms. But again, there's people who are flying who are asymptomatic. And to be aware of that, you just need to be diligent in terms of three things. Again, face mask or masks themselves, the hand sanitizer, and potentially just wipes. And you should be fine.
That'd be great.
Right.
Are you going to give us a peek under the tent? You and your wife took a trip to talk to an airline about possibly coming here.
Yes.
Can you let us know that, or is that still?
That was my tease. I didn't think you were going to do it.
No.
I
don't forget.
Training too.
I don't forget.
Well, we went out to St. George, Utah. And SkyWest is based there.
Yes.
SkyWest flies on behalf of United. And they asked us to come there because they've been looking at our market. They've been looking at the profile of our passengers. They understand exactly what we do. And the thing is, they like the fact, what we term in our industry called leakage. We were at a 62% where people from our market leaked or drove to Atlanta to catch a flight. 14,
or Birmingham.
Now 14% to Birmingham.
Right.
But from 2017 and now down to 2020, only 42% leaked to Atlanta. And we cut Birmingham in half, 7%. And so when they started looking at these numbers, they said, my God, we want to do business with Montgomery. Is there an opportunity for you to apply for a small community development grant, which is what we call a SCASI grant, which deals with smaller markets and subsidizes them for a year so they can get off the ground? Well, we said, absolutely, we're going to apply. And we're applying for that at the end of January. But how do you get that grant? How do you get that marketing assistance for them? It's when they write a letter to support you. And they've said that they want to support our market because they deem it as being viable. So what will that do? That will in turn open us up for a direct to Chicago, your old stop, as well as Houston. So that'll open up the West to go to different locations.
The north.
And the north.
Yes.
So our thought is, as we begin to grow and we have these opportunities, we're partnering with the Chamber, we're partnering with Kiwanis, we're partnering with all these areas and different Rotary to really get the word out to tell people once this lands, it's going to be tremendous for us. And hopefully with the vaccination taking place over the next, hopefully 6 months, we'll see some changes. Right?
Absolutely.
I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think masks are going to go away, but I think it's going to also really level the playing field and restore confidence in terms of flying out of our airport.
Good. Well, thank you so much. You have an open invitation to come to our show anytime you want, especially if you wind up with some good senior rates. I'm just kidding you. And just remember this, it's nice to fly right out of Montgomery. It's a lot easier. If you've ever done any flying, it's a piece of cake to fly out of Montgomery. It's Fly MGM, a great way to travel, and we'll be right back right after this.